Yo, what's good everyone, and welcome back to another video here on our YouTube channel. And I have an incredibly beautiful setup to share with each and every single one of you today, with a lot of takeaways, just like the gold trade that I posted not too long ago and talked about. And yeah, as we know, it's the 22nd of December today, so Christmas and holidays, holiday periods in general, are approaching really, really fast. And with that, as we know, bank holidays are also coming up, which means that a lot of liquidity is going to be removed from the markets for a while until the new year more or less begins. So most likely the very, very last trade of the year for me, really just ending it with a bang, a pinpoint perfect trade really. TP was just hit to the T before price actually started turning around. It was a trade that I took here on GBP JPY quite a few hours after markets opened, and yeah, basically was closed out at TP just around the end of the trading day. Really, it ended up being a 6.65 RR trade setup, which ultimately yielded for me just around 3.3k in profit. And I mean, as always, there's going to be a screenshot here somewhere in the video. So yeah, if you're interested, just feel free to just check that out. But I really just wanted to post it because just like the gold trade that was taken not too long ago and that I uploaded on YouTube, a lot of takeaways and also just some general important things that happen in the market quite often that I hope most of you, if not each and every single one of you, can have some nice takeaways from. So basically what we had just yesterday, yeah, it was Monday when the markets opened, is that we had this very, very nice supply zone down here on GBP JPY in the form of a very powerful order block, very similar to the gold trade that was posted recently. And why do we know that this was a nice supply zone? Well, basically we had this indecision candle right here with an area with a lot of volume. And actually what was followed by this was, yeah, a strong push to the upside, but we actually did have a gap. And a lot of people don't know exactly how to view a gap, but the way you can see a gap more or less, because it's movement that occurred during the weekend, and what you can basically picture is just a more or less a just a big like bullish candle right here. So taking that into account with this bullish push that we already had here, a very, very powerful bullish push overall to the upside. Which yeah, just indicated to me that this indecision area right here, we had a very, very nice order block sitting. So it was really just more or less waiting for price to come back down here. I mean, the markets opened here and it actually approached down to this zone very, very fast. And as soon as this zone was reached, entered immediately right around 137.15. 153 to be exact, and yeah, played out completely perfect. And there's also one very notable thing about this trade in particular, and that is the way you can sort of look to trade gaps. And one thing that is very, very common with gaps, I don't know too much about stocks, but at least in Forex, it's very, very common for gaps to be filled, not more or less immediately. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all, but it's very, very common for them to be filled eventually. And I was actually looking to take a sell position here just around last week, but it was Friday. And that was because I was expecting this gap to be filled, and it did take quite a long time for it to actually happen. And that's just like, I just ended up not entering because it was like one at the end of the trading week, and running the risk of trading with these type of big gaps present, it means that like you can get triggered out of your trade way past your stop loss if it just doesn't go your way. And yeah, depending on your risk tolerance, that is most likely not something that you want to be doing. So yeah, didn't take the sell setup on Friday that would have ultimately filled this gap, but yeah, instead waited for price to come back down here into the supply zone for me to then actually look to fill this gap, which is ultimately what happened. I did put my TP a little bit higher than that actually, and it's just so incredibly interesting and more or less a sign that it just should be like the last trade for the year, just to end it in such a nice fashion. But yeah, the gap was filled just as expected. I mean, price did come into here the supply zone, and just as expected, an immediately strong bullish push to the upside, as you can usually see from these second powerful touches of either a supply or demand zone, since the order block is still very present there. But yeah, that was really just more or less everything really. That's just how simple supply and demand is, and when you combine that with sort of trading gaps and the knowledge that gaps are usually filled, it's a very, very powerful combination if you do now have a gap and trade right at market open or a little bit after that. And I mean, yeah, literally everything now for now. I mean, very, very simple trade outright. And yeah, most likely the very last trade for me for the year. Gonna look to make big things happen in 2021, but yeah, most likely just the end for me right now. And I hope each and every single one of you has been trading well as well now towards the end. And if not, that you have set some very nice goals for the year to come, because a whole year is a lot of time to improve and develop as a trader. And yeah, that's really just it, really. I mean, yeah, I more or less wish all of you the best of luck, and that you will enjoy the time of the markets now when things will be slowing down a little bit, enjoying the holiday periods and everything, and basically be more or less fresh for a new year to come. This is also a good chance to do a lot of back testing, and I do highly recommend back testing supply and demand in general, because it is just such a powerful concept, because ultimately order blocks and where people's orders are sitting is what in the end actually makes the market move. And yeah, I mean, that's everything for now, really. I wish all of you the best possible holiday seasons right ahead, and we'll see all of you very soon again. Have a good time, everyone.